A woman had a scary discovery after pulling over a dozen worms from her eye.
She learned that she contracted a rare infection that left the creepy crawlers in her eye, some of them almost a half-inch long.
And as reporter Haley Rush explains, there wasn't much that doctors could do to help.
What started as an irritated eye for Abby Beckley a year and a half ago turned into a startling discovery.
So I pulled my eye kind of down like this, and I looked in that bottom little crevice, and I was like, something looks wrong. Like maybe I have a piece of fuzz stuck there. So I went like this in like a picking motion, and I felt something in between my fingers, and I pulled it out, and I looked down at my finger, and it was a moving worm.
The then 26-year-old from Brookings, Oregon was in Alaska at the time and knew she needed to get it checked out in person.
So I ended up flying back to Oregon to deal with this because I had, between the first worm I pulled out and then the doctor's appointment, I had pulled out or seen about 4. So I knew that there wasn't just one.
She says doctors were just as puzzled as her.
It was honestly the most unique call I have gotten.
As for treatment, her doctor at OHSU encouraged her to keep pulling out the worms when she could.
It's a little unsatisfying to ask a patient to just keep pulling out the worms, but that is the best thing to do, because if we give her an antiparasitic agent, the worms would die in there but wouldn't be removed.
There was 14 of them in total. And I was the only one that was able to kind of successfully pick them out. And that was the only thing making my eye feel better. I was living in a nightmare.
According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Beckley had a type of eye worm called Thalasia gullosa. It's seen in cattle in the U.S. and spread by flies. And until now, it has never been seen in a human eye.
So when I was researching this, I couldn't find anything about this, and that was really that's scary. And so I'm hoping that if this ever happens again, that one person can Google this now, and there'll be a bunch of stories, and they'll be like, oh, this girl made it out okay, like she's okay, I can be okay too.
Beckley's case was published in a CDC report on Monday. A CDC researcher says there have been 10 other eye worm infections in the U.S., but never this particular type.
And what's even better is that Beth will not mention this story at all coming up in sports tonight.
No.
No.
No, I will not. We have plenty of other stories, some really great stories that you will want to stick around for. I promise. No parasites, no worms. That's next.